Videographer Nick Schmidt and I have traveled down South Broadway, and here at the corner of Broadway and 3rd Street in the old Palace Department Store building, we're going to talk to one of the newer businesses here on the Broadway area, and that's going to be Rob Simpson. And Rob, the Canteen Shop. Let's talk a little bit, first of all, about your background and how you got involved in this particular type of business.
Well, we've been doing this for about 6.5 years now, and it started off with just canteens, and we were a Cleveland-based business, and we started developing our own products and growing from there. And now that we've kind of moved farther from there and grown the business, we ended up opening up our retail location. But what we really do is try and bring smaller businesses together from around the country to create a product base that you really can't find at Dick's Sporting Goods or some of the other venues that are available right now. So we have a lot of small businesses all over the country that make things just for our shop that we've helped them develop as well. And then we have a lot of other things that we carry that we test pretty rigorously, where you can actually see that stuff on our website in video form and things, so you know that what you're getting is actually quality instead of something that's going to break.
Yeah. Now I know, and Rob's a patient of mine, now I know that when you originally the business was more just online ordering, correct? Yeah. And now you started to break into the retailing. And how did you happen to decide to make that move? And then also, how then did you just happen to come down here into the downtown Greenville area?
Well, initially we were online only, and we do a lot of worldwide business, so we're very well known in the outdoor community, just not very well known in the Greenville community. And we were running everything out of an old farmhouse there, and we just were growing so quickly we were running out of space. So we were going to open up a spot in another location, and that fell through, and we wanted to come into the downtown area once we had a second opportunity to find a new venue, and we found this place, and it's just been great for us so far. We're really excited to be down here, and I mean, you can't ask for a better location.
Yeah, and I tell you what, folks, when you walk in here, now this is back by M&M Diner and behind the coffee pot, but when you walk in here, it's like a whole new world in here, and we're going to, and you've done a great job of bringing it up to date and decorating and everything. Let's talk about the outdoor gear business that you're involved in. Well, what sparked your interest in that?
I grew up in a one-street town in Missouri as a kid, so I mean, we didn't have a telephone until I was 12 years old, so all I did was run around the woods and have fun on trails that Jesse James used to ride on and stuff, you know. So, I mean, it was just one of those things that kind of spawned from my childhood, and I continued doing it up in the Cleveland area where we live. There's a metro park system that goes all the way around the entire city, and what we would do there is just hike and test out gear and things like that. And it just, for a love of the outdoors, just kind of spawned from there. And I'm so quality oriented and picky about everything we carry that if I don't like it and I don't put it in my backpack, we don't even offer it in the store. So that's something that's kind of solidified us in the outdoor community, because people know when they buy things from us, it's not going to be junk. That they're going to get top of the line.
Well, let's take a look at some of this outdoor gear, because a lot of people out there watching probably just, they think outdoor gear and they think a tent and maybe a Coleman stove, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But you're way beyond anything like that. Yeah. So let's just maybe start just taking a look at some of the stuff here we have on this wall, and then we'll just kind of work our way around and talk a little bit about your products.
Well, some of the custom stuff that we have, other businesses make for us. We have custom flint strikers that are forged for us. We have custom tarps that are made for us, custom paracord items that are made for us. Like this is something called Zombie Tinder. This is a fire starter. This is made for us by hand in Washington State. And what it is it's a ball, pretty much. It's a natural piece of cotton that's picked right off a cotton plant. They put it inside a wax vat, and then they wrap it in jute wax thread and put pine sap around the wick. So you can light it with a match or a lighter, or you can cut it open, fluff out the cotton, and spark it with a spark, and it'll burn for 12 to 15 minutes even if the stuff's wet. Okay. So it's made out of a stable wax too, so if you have it in, say, your car in the summer, it's not going to turn into a puddle. It'll maintain its integrity.
You know, I'm glad you told me that, because I was looking at that and thought, boy, this looks like a pretty good piece of candy over here. Yeah. Go see if I can pop a piece in there and see what. Yeah, I bet.
Either, so.
What else we have? Just pull some things off here.
Well, we've got. I'll show you this because it's got a few things on it. Like this is one of our best sellers for Christmas. It's what they call the paracord neck EDC. All of our paracord items are made for us by hand in California by the paracord guy, and it's got a safety clasp on it. You wear it around your neck, so if you get caught on a branch, it's not going to choke you up. And then it's also got a fully functional waterproof flashlight that you can dim or brighten in any setting that you want, and it does SOS. It has a compass with degree dial and measurement markers. You can use it on a map if you want to, or you can just use it for standard orientating. And then it comes with a fire starter, which has a high carbon steel bit attached on it, and it's got a ferrocerium rod inside the aircraft aluminum chamber, so you can just pull this back and get 5,000 degree sparks.
Wow. So those three things, the flashlight, the compass, and then the fire starter, that's three basics you need, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And with a pocket knife, I mean, you got a lot of bases covered already with something like this. Mm-hmm. And if you're pretty skilled with fire starting and things, this is really all you kind of need to get by if you're out there and you're in a pinch.
Okay. I'm trying to think some of the shows you see on like Discovery Channel or TLC and some of those shows where they talk about survival and this kind of stuff. So a lot of people that you sell to then are not only just weekend campers, but people that really get out in the wild.
Yeah, we're actually very closely related to a lot of the people that are actually on those shows. Yeah, like Dave Carenbay is good friends of ours. He owns the Pathfinder School. He's been on Dual Survival. He has a show on the Hunt Network, and he also has a show coming out shortly on National Geographic. He's from Southern Ohio. We've developed products together. He and I have been friends for a very long time. We've had friends that have been on Naked and Afraid, and I mean pretty much anything under the sun. We've had friends or fans that have been a part of it or customers, and we get emails from those companies all the time to do shows, or if we know people to do shows. But yeah, I mean, all this stuff, it can be used for anything, essentially. I mean, if you're just outside camping or hiking, if you're a prepper, if you're just into survival, if you just like camping, it really, everything kind of works with each other, and that's what we've kind of built it around. We don't want to kind of pigeonhole ourselves in any specific area. It's just if you enjoy being out in the woods or plan on going out in the woods, we pretty much have what you're going to need.
Okay. So now I'm looking up here, I mean, we've got socks, we've got hats, we've got all sorts of waterproof, all sorts of paraphernalia that way. Mm-hmm. And then also, and Nick will get pictures of some of this stuff. I see you got a lot of educational material, and we're going to kind of go around here and take a look at some
stuff. Stuff is actually signed by the authors too. We're friends with a lot of these people. Like I said, some of the big names in the industry. So John McCann has written numerous books. He's a best-selling author. Dave Carenbay is a best-selling author. They sign these books for us. A lot of our products are actually featured in these books too. So if you get one of the books, you're going to learn a little about us at the same time as learning a little more about the outdoors. Yeah. We also have a lot of stuff that's locally made. So we have walking sticks that are made for us by a disabled vet here in town. We have leather work that's done by a woman here in town. We have custom forging that's done for us here in town for grills and squirrel cookers, and I mean anything you want to use over at camp.
Squirrel cookers?
Yeah. What it is it's just a 2-rod setup. And it's got a fork end, so you can put it in the ground over your fire, cook meat on the fork end, or it's got a notch end too. You can just flip it around and use it for a cooking pot over the fire. So, yeah, they just call it a squirrel cooker. It's a frontier name that they've used for a long time to describe it. So, yeah, it's catchy though.
Yeah, it is. It caught my attention. Let's kind of look over here. What is this stuff?
Well, we got a 550 paracord here, and it's all actual government certified 550 paracord.
Now, what is paracord?
Paracord is a cordage they use for parachutes, essentially, and it's a 550 means it's a 550 pound test weight, and it's got 7 strands inside of it, and it's got a nylon core essentially. So when you take all the strands out of the inside, you can use those for sutures, you can use them for fishing, you can use them just to tie things down, and then you still have the outer casing to use for whatever you need. If you need a bootlace, if you need to make pretty much anything, a tourniquet, you can make anything out of this stuff. So I've even seen people go so far as to make nets out of it, hammocks out of it. I mean, it's very, very versatile. And then we have custom tarps that are made down here by a gentleman for us that makes them for search and rescue in Wyoming. Mm-hmm. And we have nice videos, all that stuff on our website, but they're 9.5 feet by 9.5 feet square. They're triple stitched with Kevlar thread. They've got 8 tie outs, 1 at every corner, 1 at every center point, and they're pretty much indestructible. We carry them in a lightweight version and a heavyweight version. And the stuff is so durable that the guy offers a lifetime warranty on them. So if you have a stitching issue or anything like that, he'll take care of it or replace it.
And then you said over here, you said somebody locally makes leather pouches. Now, what are these used for?
We use these for tinder kits. Like we got one over there on top of here. I can show you. But it's a flint and steel kit essentially. So you've got a piece of flint, you got a striker, you've got a tin, and then you've got a leather pouch. People put the whole kit inside the pouch and just carry that with them into the woods as a backup fire starter. All this is a little more primitive because it's kind of frontier times and even older, people really still like to do it that way, you know. So we use them for that. We also use them for our ammo carrying, because we carry a lot of slingshot stuff, so you can carry your ammo inside one of these. Some people just put your cell phones in them. I mean, you know, it just kind of varies on as to what you might want to use it for.
You know, when we walked in here, and again, this shop is located just in front of M&M Diner and behind Delacio's and the Coffee Pot. So it's right in this area, and a lot of traffic flow through here. But you got to stop and see all the stuff that Rob and Gina have in here. And the first thing caught our eyes, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, those slingshots. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, those are made for us by a national slingshot champion. And the guy really has put a lot of time into his design. They've got a lot of unique traits to the slingshot design that you really don't find on anything else. And they're really interesting. He's got different band options, different ways to attach them, and he even offers a multitude of different types of slingshots on his own website too. So they're really nice, and you can hunt with them. I mean, they've got enough draw power where you could easily hunt with them if you wanted to.
Well, we're going to take a look at those a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to pause for just a second here. We're going to swing the camera around and set up again. Rob and I are going to move down to the other end of the shop, and we want to take a look at all the canteens and kits and whatever else we have down here. Absolutely. Here on the Wave Channel 5. We'll be back in just a moment. Alex Warner along with Rob Simpson here at the Canteen Shop in downtown Greenville. We've moved a little bit to the other end of the shop here, and let's just talk a little bit. You talk about kits up here. What all do you have here, Rob?
Well, we built our business off of initially was the GI Canteen kit, and that's the cup that came with the original GI setup. But what we kind of did was reinvent it a little bit. So we made this stove stand first. And this is kind of what we built our whole business on. You can use this. It fits right underneath the kit set up like this. So you can just put underneath your cup, put your canteen in, and you can take it with you. It's very compact, doesn't weigh a whole lot.
And then you can eat off of this?
Yeah, these are so durable that you're never going to break it. I mean, it's going to last the rest of your life. We use these as obviously a grill top, so you can put your cup on top of there and cook with it. We even put alcohol burners underneath there, just put it right in the fire and used it for pans and cook sausages, things like that. I've grilled frog legs right on top of it. Yeah, but we've also used them in more survival situations. We use them as shovels. We've used them as fire starters. You can scrape a ferro rod in here with your tinder and start your fire. We've used them as wild edible strainers. So you pick berries and things, you can rinse them off, you know, and things like that. So, I mean, we've done a lot with them, to more than even initially intended. And what it comes with kind of is you get a cup, and then you've got a lid for your cup, so you can cook in there, and it'll boil real fast. You don't have to worry about getting debris inside because you have the lid on. You normally get any type of canteen with it. We have regular GI canteens. We have clear Nalgene canteens. These don't retain taste or smell, and they're clear, so you can see how much water you have in there, and they're impact resistant. So, I mean, you can chuck one of these at the tree full of water, and it's not going to break on you. And then we offer different covers, and we've also designed our own full canteen kit. So after we did this, we came out with this. And this is our own design, along with the Pathfinder School, Dave Carenberry from Dual Survival fame and all that. He and I designed all this. And this is the first stainless steel canteen to be made since pretty much World War II. Wow. Yeah, and it's a wide mouth canteen. It's a 39.5 ounce setup, so you can carry almost 40 ounces of water inside of it. It comes with a 25 ounce cup instead of the standard 16 ounce cup. It's got measurement markers inside the cup, so you can see how much water you're putting in there. Fits with the lid, and we made a taller, lighter stove stand to go with it, because since it's all stainless, we wanted to cut the weight a little bit. So you can do the same things you can do with all this, but it compacts down very nicely into a nice little setup. The handle wraps around the bottom of the stove, so it's really simple to carry, and you get a lot more water with you in comparison to the regular setup. And we have different cover setups for those too. We even have some that are custom made for these types of things, like the paracord setup, and we have one of those right here as an example.
I wondered what those were. Okay.
Yeah, this is made for us by the paracord guy in California, like the lanyards were. He makes a few things for us, bedroll straps and things like that. But this is our own design, and it's just a Y-strap setup that goes around your whole canteen kit. Very lightweight, but gives you a ton of cordage. It comes with a chest strap that you can actually change the length of by just sliding this up or down and getting more length out of it. And we put a titanium spork back behind there, so you got pretty much everything you need in one little setup. It doesn't weigh very much, and the nice thing about these straps is the inner cordage, these lines here, are separate from what's woven, So if you need cordage, you can take all this woven stuff off, but still have a chest strap available to use when you need it.
Great. Now let's talk a little bit about, got a wool blanket bedroll kit here. And I got to tell you, I'm still trying to figure out the frog legs you were talking about on that stand there. I'm trying to picture that in my mind. Let's talk about this wool blanket bedroll.
This is a 90% wool blanket. The other 10% is just a standard acrylic. But what we have here are adjustable bedroll straps that are made for us by the paracord guy again. And you can use these to connect to a strap, or you can use these to connect underneath your backpack. So you can use these for sleeping bags, you can use them for blankets, you can use them for pretty much anything.
That looks like it's pretty warm.
It is, yeah. It's about a 5-pound blanket. I mean, and they're 60 by 82 inches. So, I mean, it's a pretty good size. It'll cover a queen bed, you know. And then we also offer a bedroll. With the bedroll kit, we offer a brass blanket pin, and these are used traditionally by like the Scots, who are the tartans, things like that, but also been used by frontiersmen for a very long time to just hold wool blankets, Pendleton blankets, Hudson Bay blankets, things like that around them in the winter. So it's just something that you can kind of turn the blanket into a poncho or a cloak or something like that to keep you warm in the winter if you need to wear it in emergency.
It looks like something Clint Eastwood would wear on High Plains Drifters or something, right?
Yep. But that's something that's just, we try and kind of mix old with new if it's still functional, you know. So we really look into the past and look into what's new, and if there's something that is from the past that can work with our current gear, then we still offer that, because there's nothing wrong with it. If it's not broke, don't fix it, essentially. Exactly. You know, so we really try to integrate the past with the present to kind of give you the best selection that's available. Okay.
Well, let's take a look at this row over here. You've got some cooking things and water. Well, we already talked about the canteens, but just little spoons and just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
What's a squishy bowl?
Yeah, these are probably the thing that draw people in here the most, because they see this and they got to come in and touch it. But it comes with a bowl and a cup, and they're heat resistant, so you can use them in an oven up to 400 degrees.
Really?
Yep. And they're really nice because they just fit around a lot of the stuff that we offer. A lot of times I'll use them in, say, one of these titanium bots here. It's a cooking pot that's also a water bottle, and you can just put it right underneath there and carry it with you, so you got something you can eat out of when you're out in the woods. And they're very, very popular. And the company only makes them, I think, twice a year. So once we run out until they come back in. But we carry a lot of titanium products, pot lifters, titanium sporks, cup lids for the canteen cups. These are an alcohol burner that we use for underneath those stoves.
Like a sterno
showed
type
you.
of thing?
Essentially, you can use denatured alcohol inside of it. It's called a transient spirit burner. They're very inexpensive. They're very durable. And you just fill it up with either denatured alcohol, as long as it has like a 90% isopropanol content, or you can use that liquid heat that you can put in your car engine. You use a yellow bottle of that stuff. It burns real clean. So you can put that in there, and you can adjust your flame height by just adjusting the swivel, or you can just use this as the snuff ring to put it out after you're done. But you can get about 20 minutes worth of burn time out of a full one of these. So you can do a lot of cooking with them.
Yeah. Now, what do we have here? This pie iron. I kind of took a look at this. That thing's heavy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, those are, again, we like the quality over anything else. So when we were looking for a pie iron, we wanted the most rugged pie iron you could possibly find. So this has got a 10-year warranty on it. It's cast iron. This thing weighs about almost 10 pounds, I think. And you can cook 2 different sandwiches in it at the same time.
So is this one of the deals where you just put like a slice or 2 of bread in, and you put stuff in between it, smash it, stick it over the fire kind of thing?
Absolutely, yep. And you might want to put a little bit of butter or something on there so the bread doesn't stick too bad. But yeah, you can make sandwiches, you can make pies, you can make pretty much anything you want out in the woods. So it's a really, really nice setup.
Yeah. Well, now do you what you don't stock here, of course, then you order online, you do all that stuff, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of things. There are some things that you find here and some that we only have in store. You know, these are one of the things that we only have in store because just to the weight, it would cost someone probably more than the pie iron to have it shipped to them. Yeah, right. We have really rugged chairs that we offer here that we don't offer in the store. They're 800-pound capacity with a lifetime warranty on them, you know, for camp chairs. We offer knit hats that were over there earlier that are all hand knitted for us in Indianapolis out of 100% wool. So there are certain things that we only have here, but the majority of it you can find in the the store. There are even some things in the store that you can't find here. We have a whole line of clothing called Rail Riders, which is expedition quality clothing, and they just ship it for us because keeping all that stuff here, it just don't have the space. But it's nice stuff. All the guys that do all those adventure shows, that's pretty much the stuff they're wearing because it doesn't tear, it breathes really well, and it'll last forever. So that's one of the reasons we offer that.
Good deal. Well, we're going to come back in just a second, wrap things up here with Rob at the Canteen Shop, and we're going to sneak around behind the counter and just take a look at a few things and wrap it up here. So you're watching the Our Town series here on Greenville Public Access TV, The Wave, Channel 5. Going to wrap things up here at the Canteen Shop with Rob Simpson. And Rob, we talked a little bit earlier about this slingshot. And you say these are custom made, and you can have them made just about any way you want with anything you want, right?
Yeah, what we have here is a slingshot that's made for us by a national slingshot champion. It's called the Scout Slingshot, and it's made by Flippin' Out Slingshots. What they've done is they call this a teardrop design, so it kind of negates the need for an arm brace. So you can draw back and it'll keep straight, and then you can also, it has grooves here, so if you want to shoot, they call it schoolboy style essentially, you can put your forefinger and thumb up and you can go sideways to a draw. You develop these things called flip clips, so they tension on, so you don't have to tie the bands on. So you can change the bands out really quickly. And also the holes that these go through can be utilized to use tube bands if you don't want to use flat bands. But we recommend the flat bands because they actually give you a lot more draw power than the surgical tubing does. The gentleman also invented a few different other options that you can get with these. We have rock chucker bands, which are a thicker red style band with a larger pouch. You can shoot debris. We have a double layer band, so you have essentially two bands on both sides to give you more draw power. And I mean, it's just one of those things that's so versatile. It's very lightweight and they're practically indestructible, you know, and you can do a lot of damage with them, so they're not very great for kids, but if an adult wants to go out and have some fun, they can.
That's interesting. The Canteen Shop, and he's got a display of canteens. Tell me just about a couple of these canteens as we wrap things up.
Absolutely. We've got a 1940 style Boy Scout canteen here in the original cover. We've got the Arctic U.S. canteen up here. We've got the standard canteen that's been issued since, I think, Vietnam at that point. And we've got some more historical ones from the early 1900s here as well. And then we've got a couple on the other side here that are incredibly rare. We've got
let's take a look at these.
We've got a wide mouth canteen here that only 500 were made of for the U.S. military, and they made this specifically for the Marine mountain survival courses. And I know the guy who was the lead instructor up there, and he sent me some of these when they closed it down. So this is a wide mouth plastic canteen that you can't find anywhere else. I've had people offer me hundreds of dollars just for this plastic canteen, and it's never going to leave my possession. But and then we've also got, he sent me one of these. This is actually Canadian, and it's a thermos canteen.
Okay.
So you've got a little cup there, and then you got the thermos inside. And
that'll hold hot and cold?
Yep. So you can do pretty much anything. But the whole reason they made that wide mouth canteen for the military survival classes was to put snow in. So if you're in a situation you need to cram a bunch of snow inside a canteen, it's really hard to do it inside this little mouth. But with the wide mouth setup, you can do it with ease. So that was kind of their thinking behind it. But they just ended up not going with the design for some reason, which is kind of disappointing.
Hey, I got to ask you about this. What is this? It looks like something you wrap around the neck of a St. Bernard up in the mountains.
This I actually got at a auction here in town. A gentleman had passed, and they were doing an auction, and nobody even really knew what it was. Since I've been in the canteen business so long, I've never seen one oval like this. Yeah. And you could tell he made it himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not something that's mass-produced at all. The gentleman was into reenacting and frontier gear, so he made one of these for himself, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and I think I only paid $5 for it. So.
Yeah, well, it caught my eye right away. Well, hey, this has been fun coming up here to the Canteen Shop with Rob Simpson, his wife Gina, and you say you've been up here now how long in this building? 5 months here at the Old Palace store, right in the corner of 3rd and Broadway. And boy, thanks for the tour here, and best of luck to you in the future. This is an interesting place. You folks have any interest at all in camping or outdoor or survival, anything like that, stop up and see Rob, because if it's not here, you can order it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We're going to move our camera down now and take a look at another one of the businesses here as you watch Our Town here on the Wave Channel 5. Nick and I'll be back in just a moment.